Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Today I'm with an up-and-coming artist out of Seattle, the one and only Prismia.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here. This is so exciting.
Yeah, hell yeah. So I learned you just got COVID. How was that?
I did. Yeah, Omicron really got me. Yeah, no, it wasn't super bad. I've been boosted and everything. So yeah, it wasn't the craziest. It was just upsetting because it was right before I had my release show. So I had to cancel that or postpone it. We moved it. So that's okay. It's only mildly disappointing, I guess. But it's okay. It's fine. And you know what? It's just to make everything safer, and even everything's been getting canceled the last like few weeks anyway, so it's just for the best. To keep people safe.
I got COVID too. I got
Yeah?
I don't know if it was Omicron. I guess everyone assumes that if you get COVID now it's the latest variant. But I got it over the holidays and I had no symptoms. But people around me had tested positive and had symptoms. But I had it and the entire time no symptoms whatsoever. It was really weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome for you.
Yeah, I guess I'm a superhero now. Like some people are a superhero once they get it, but now like I'm double superhero. Like I just completely just like. But I also had gotten the booster like two weeks prior, so maybe it was like really fresh in my body.
It was fresh in effect.
Yeah, exactly. So, cool. From my understanding, are you still in school at Berkeley, or did you graduate from Berkeley?
I did graduate, class of 2021. Thank you. And I was in Boston the last 4 years, and I just came back this October to Washington. But I'm a Washington gal, so I was born and raised. So nice. It's my home.
Seattle, so I'm Washington back home specifically, or what part of Washington?
I've mostly lived in like the Kent Federal Way area, so right in between Seattle and Tacoma. It's really nice.
Nice. So how'd you get involved in music, and how'd you end up at Berkeley?
Well, I was doing music for a good amount of time before I graduated high school. I started playing drums when I was 9, and then I started being in in bands when I was 11. So all throughout like middle school and high school, I was in different bands, and I was lucky enough to like perform around the Puget Sound area. And that's kind of my background, is a lot of like gigging and stuff, and working in like rock band.
Nice.
But and then I just music was always what I feel like I was meant to do. So I just completely focused on that. And I always wanted to go to Berkeley in Boston. It was a little daunting because I had lived in Washington my whole life, and I was kind of scared to like, all right, 18, let's get out cross country, farthest I could possibly get in the United States. But it was the right move, and I really enjoyed my time at Berkeley, and so
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was good.
So what were your like roles in the bands you were in? Were you like the drummer? Were you the singer?
Yes, for all of them, I was a drummer, and as time went on, I got more comfortable with singing while playing the drums. And in the last band I was in high school, I did drums, but then I also like sang lead sometimes, and I was singing backup on almost every song. So I just got more comfortable with singing and playing drums, and I really, really enjoy that. So that's currently what I do in Prismia. I'm the main songwriter, but I also like lead while playing the drums.
But would you call Prismia just like a solo artist thing, or would you consider it like a band project?
Right, yeah, it is a little confusing for some people, which is understandable. But yeah, Prismia is a solo project for now. I wanted to make it its own entity, so I didn't want to use just my name,
right?
And I prefer it that way, just so maybe later on I could make it into like a band, right? And I'm really comfortable in that setting and working as like a band, but just because of the pandemic and me not knowing exactly like my plans and like moving from Boston to Seattle, like I just decided that'd be easier to do a solo thing for now.
So do you want people calling you Prismia, or do you want them just calling you first name Anna? Or?
I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine with Prismia or Anna,
Yeah.
whatever works. I'm open.
So in these bands you've been in,
Mhm.
did they propel you into like the Seattle music scene, or were these just like how involved or not involved would you say you are in the Seattle music scene?
Well, yeah, throughout high school, I really was. And again, like some of the time, like I was doing shows like almost every week. And yeah, I think I was totally immersed into the music scene here back then. And then once I moved, it was kind of crazy. I'd learned the Washington music scene so well and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I moved completely and I had to learn a new music scene. The New England music scene is its own thing and it's very different. And it was cool. I got to be in a band over at Berkeley. And my other bandmates were from New England. And so it was really cool. And we got to do stuff over there. But yeah. And then coming back now, it's just like, you know, I know a lot, but I'm also like learning a lot. And things have changed a lot in the last 4 years, and especially last couple of years because of the pandemic.
Yeah. Right.
Um, so I'm kind of like relearning, you know,
So
who's in what band and like what venues are open and all that kind of stuff.
what were some of the things that were different about the New England music scene?
Well, it's interesting because all the states over there are so small, right? So there's not really it doesn't seem like there's not really like a Vermont, New Hampshire. Like they don't have. It's just kind of one big glob of music scene, and they all play together. And like if you have a band that's from Southern Mass, they're probably closer to bands in Rhode Island than Boston. And it's just like really interesting, like location wise, how that all works out. And then also like different genres are more prevalent. Pop punk is really big there.
Oh yeah.
I have a couple friends in a pop punk band over there that are doing really good. So yeah,
How would you describe your aesthetic? Are you kind of like pop punk a little bit?
I'm really open. I really like a lot of different genres of music. Like my parents liked different music. My mom's such a boomer. She likes a lot of like 70s like music and like Stevie Wonder. She likes a lot of disco. So I grew up listening to that. And like she likes Motown.
Hey, I
And then
love
my
Motown.
dad was a big like metalhead and he liked rock and so I had a lot of different influences. And then I really got into pop punk. So I definitely like pop punk. Um, but I would just classify myself as a rock girl.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what were you going to school for? Was it?
So my my major was called contemporary writing and production. So it
Nice.
was basically half composition and arranging and half music production. So I got a little bit of a best of both worlds situation. I was very lucky, and that's what I graduated in
Hell
on my
yeah.
bachelor's in. Yeah, so it was cool. You know, again, like my background before that was just like a lot of performance based stuff. And I wrote songs with other people and it was always a collaboration and stuff. And so when I got to Berkeley, I was like, I want to learn how to really hone in my writing skills. I hadn't done that on my own really. And I wanted the tools for doing so. So I really enjoyed it. And I like composing and then doing a little bit of the music production side really helped too. Just I want to know as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I always have to do, you know, everything myself, but at least I know a little bit
Best
of
of
different
both worlds,
sections.
you know?
Yeah.
So why'd you move back to Seattle? I feel like you'd probably grow like, did you have like breaks when you were in Boston, or is it like, were you just
Hmm.
there all 4 years?
Oh, no, I went home for like, winter break and for breaks, but I never came home during the summer.
Mm,
I worked in Boston and stayed in Boston during the summer. So I was only home at the longest, like maybe a month,
nice.
um, in the last 4 years. But I moved back because I just felt like my chapter in Boston was coming to a close, and I was ready. I was just ready for another move. And yeah, I just wanted to like come home, put my head back on, just kind of like, gather like
Right.
gather up my thoughts and everything and just like be home. And I wanted to spend more time with family, and I wanted to reconnect with my Seattle friends and musicians that I know. And I really missed everyone here. I really missed Washington, and I wanted to like, you know, just say hi and, you know, see what's going on here. I missed everything. And I feel like I'm relearning a lot.
So what are the next steps then? Like, you're graduated now. Like, are you just full on music now? Or are you trying to look for a job in music? Like, what are the next steps here?
um trying to have it be 100% music always.
Mm-hmm.
Always the goal. But right now I'm focusing completely on Prismia, and I have some little other side hustles.
Hmm.
But I plan on moving to LA. Hopefully after summer. I want to spend a summer here.
Right.
But and so sometime in the fall, I'm gonna try to in the next couple months, I'm gonna try to find some kind of like internship or job over there. And I'm gonna go to LA. I have a lot of I'm lucky to have a lot of friends and a lot of Berkeley alumni in LA. And so I have a pretty good community of friends that I know there. And the times I've been to LA, I love it. And it's just definitely the next move. I feel like ever since I moved across country at 18, I just now
Yeah.
have a knack for like, I really like living and being in different cities, and I really enjoy like learning the people, the culture, the music scene in different places. And so that's kind of one of my reasons to go to LA. And you know yeah, I just want to try out different places. It doesn't mean I'm going to be there forever. And Washington is definitely always going to be my home. And like Washington's my home, but I just want to do as much as I can
Sounds like
other
you want a
places.
tour or something, you know?
Yeah, touring would be great too. But yeah, there's something about living somewhere, that you really get to truly learn a lot versus just, going on trips or tours and stuff, which I do want to tour as well, and touring is really awesome.
Yeah. But do you think going to school like put you a step ahead of artists who may have not gone to school?
Um, you know, it's hard because you can do it on your own. You don't. I'm not gonna sit here and say you need to go to an expensive music school and you have to be an artist. Like that's incorrect. That's
Yeah.
not true at all. Um, and it just depends on the kind of person you are, I feel. And I was lucky enough to have the opportunity to go, and but it helped me because I needed a lot of like personal growth as well.
Hmm.
And so doing that in like a school situation was really good, instead of me just like, all right, 18, just get out into the world and start going.
Right.
And so I had this opportunity to like kind of still form myself as a musician and person. So that really helped. at Berkeley. And then besides the education, just, you know, meeting a whole bunch of people from everywhere across the whole entire world was probably the most worth it at Berkeley. It's just like the connections and the people that you meet is amazing. So, and now I have friends from everywhere, and it's just really, really cool. So that was probably like one of my favorite parts about being at Berkeley and going over there, and just like meeting all these different people.
Do you think
That's just one of my favorite things.
do you think it taught you how to, like, the steps to make it a career?
Yes, it definitely helped with that. Absolutely. And I'm still like honing in exactly what I want. It's hard because you always want to have a balance, right? You want to be open to a lot of things, but also you don't want to be like, oh, I can do anything. It's like, okay, that's cool, but like, it's nice to have a certain area that you want to focus on. And so I'm just trying to find that balance still.
Do you set like milestones for yourself as an artist?
I do. I have like certain goals. I have I have the small picture, like the versus the bigger picture. I like have a little bit harder time with, but I have like these small goals, and then it helps me kind of piece together what the big picture is. Yeah, like for me, doing the solo project was definitely a big milestone for me. I'm not like used to that. I'm used to being, the rock drummer in a band and collaborating with others all the time. So when it came to releasing my own music as this is just me, it was like really, really scary at first. And especially with being like the lead vocalist too. I'm used to shredding on the drums, but like when it came to like, oh, this is just Anna's voice, I'm like, ah. So I've had to get through barriers like that, just with my own situation, just like dealing with that. But yeah, just getting these songs out that I've been working on for the last since the pandemic. I've been working on songs, and now that I've released 2 singles, Soccer and Dreams on the radio, they're my babies, and I had a lot of help on them. Prismia is still definitely very collaborative. Again, I have a lot of friends that have helped me record parts and send them from across different places, and it's like a nice hodgepodge of different musicians. And
collaboration's important.
Yeah, it is. And but yeah, just like writing these songs and just trying to get more comfortable with myself as a songwriter and a lead vocalist. And yeah, it's been very interesting getting through those barriers that I set for myself.
Yes, tell me about your new song Radio. It's kind of like, it's like a heart. Is it like a breakup song? Kind of gives me those.
Yeah, I guess it's about a relationship, sure. And I would consider it a rock ballad. Okay. It's my version of a ballad, because I am not like, I don't write a lot of slower songs, right? So this was my way of like, okay, Anna, you gotta have like a chill song. And so it's not chill, but it's like my version of it. And so yeah, the Radio is like, it's a pretty dramatic song. It has definitely like an intense narrative throughout the whole thing, and it looks through like the lens of a person who is with someone who is like completely withdrawn and apathetic and is not willing to like work on their relationship, and they're not willing to end the relationship either. They're just kind of there. And so the metaphor I have is like the radio's broken. Like you could have like the car is kind of like the relationship, but there's something that's inherently broken about it, and it's not being fixed. And it's just like no matter how much I try to fix it or the other person tries to fix it, like it doesn't matter if the other person's not bringing effort in. It needs to be both, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what the song is about, and it goes through multiple like emotions. There's like anger, there's sadness, there's like a feeling of hopelessness. So it's a pretty dramatic song, but I feel like it's very I feel like it's pretty relatable in some ways to someone, I'm sure.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked the build up a lot. It was dope.
Thank you. Thank you. And so that one will be on my album that will be out in April.
Ooh.
And it's an EP, and I've been working on it again. Like these songs I've been working on for a while. But I'm super excited to have like more songs out, and because I feel like having a nice variety of songs will make me feel comfortable, because I feel like a lot of my songs are quite different from each other.
Yeah.
And I have like a lot of influences, and I like to like throw in different things in each individual song. So I'm excited to have multiple things out.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear more of the songs. You had me hooked with the first song I heard, Radio. I was like, I gotta have her on.
Yeah, I'm working on
Yeah.
it. And then like this music video I did with a production team called Girl Band Productions, and
I
they're
know
based
Girl
in
Band.
yeah.
Gemma,
Yeah,
shout out
they're
Gemma, shout out. Yeah, know them
yeah,
all. Yeah.
exactly. They're so cool. They're all so cool. I worked with them on the radio music video, and that comes out on the 21st of January. So
Hell yeah.
check that out. And yeah, no, they're really great, and they helped like write the script completely, and they just kind of, I told them my idea and what the song was about, and they like took over, and it's just like killer. I'm so excited to have it out.
How'd you get introduced to them?
My marketing manager, Jada Jasmine, she knew of them and hooked me up with them.
Nice.
And we actually have we have some people in common too. And I feel like in Washington, so it's like a couple degrees of separation. Like, everyone knows someone who knows someone that,
Yeah.
connects each other.
Especially social media,
Yes.
So
Yeah.
with the song Radio, is it a personal experience?
Absolutely. Yes, it definitely comes from personal experience. It's kind of like a mix of different things I've experienced, and I've seen other people experience.
Right.
But a lot the main narrative is definitely something that I've gone through. Yeah. And I try to do that as much as possible, right? You write what you know,
Yeah.
and you write what you've seen, and I see music as a therapy, right? And so especially I feel like for me, it helps me when I write a song, it helps me like kind of feel better about this emotion, or feel like this experience I've had, like now it's like it's left me, right? And I'm free from the weight of it, and it's become a positive thing because it's turned into music, and that's like, I feel like that's really beautiful. That's one of the reasons why I love music, is because you can express yourself, and and it can like really touch people and connect with others too. So
yeah,
that's good.
Well, what is the easiest way for people to reach you, and how do they find your music?
Well, right now, on the social media is Prismia Music on like TikTok and Instagram. And then the radio's out on all streaming platforms. I do have a single before that called Saccharine Dreams, which is a pretty fun one. Completely like different vibe. It's like bouncy and poppy. So those two are out, and then I'm working on this EP.
Hell yeah. Wait, how'd you come up with the name, by the way, Prismia?
Prismia? It's so funny because in Boston, I was having a hardest time like figuring out what I wanted to do with a name. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't want to use mine. So I wanted a name. I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And I wanted it to be one word.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted it to be like pretty and like kind of I wanted it to balance a balance between like I didn't want it to be like super ultra feminine or masculine. Like I wanted it kind of in between. And I like the idea of something ending with an A because my name ends with an A. So I was like, okay. And literally, I think I was like, all right. I told my roommates, we were all just hanging around watching TV or watching Netflix. I'm like, all right, please help me. I have to figure out this name. Like, and so I sat down with my roommates and we brainstormed for like a couple hours while we were just hanging out.
Wow, that's dope.
And yeah, and it just came about. I don't even really remember exactly, but I like it because, it's like a prism is really cool and it reflects. And I feel like with my music, I want to do that, be like a reflection of different influences I've had in my life and just my own experiences. So it's like Prismia. I don't know.
So,
Thought it was kind of cool.
are you into crystals?
I like crystals. They're
Oh,
like
man.
I'm not like super super into them, but yeah, I just thought it was really pretty sounding but still kind of powerful.
Yeah, that's dope. When I
Thank
think of
you.
like prisms, I think of is it the Pink Floyd album where it's like the rainbow? Is it the Dark Side of
Yeah,
the
I
Moon?
think and they have the triangle. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's dope. Well, do you have any final advice for up and coming artists, creators, influencers?
Oh man. Um, I'm trying to think. You know, when it comes to releasing music, and I've noticed this because I have gone through this too. I feel like a lot of musicians and a lot of artists in general are perfectionists, right? With their craft, they want to make it. If they were going to put it out, it needs to be the best,
Yeah,
right? And that's totally understandable, and I feel that way too. But sometimes I feel like that hinders actually putting out anything. And so I feel like my only thing I would say is like just get just get it out there, like what you have is great, and just like it needs to be out in this world. Your art needs to be out in this world. So try not to get it's hard. I do it too, but I just try to remember, try not to get like super into all the specifics, and like, it sounds good, throw it out. The world needs it.
yeah,
World needs more art.
yeah. Awesome. Well, this is the NAST podcast with.
Prismia or Anna. Thank you so much for having me, Blake.